Hey, it's Allie, and this week I'd like to just quickly check in and discuss television as an art form. So, I know growing up, a lot of times when I was watching TV, it wasn't really seen as a positive thing. My parents would say, "What are you doing in front of that TV? There's more productive things for you to do." But when I was taking part in other art forms, such as drawing or painting, that was really championed. And when I spent a lot of time at museums, nobody said, "Don't be looking at sculptures, that's not good for you." But that was the message I got about TV. And so I'm wondering if you all got that similar message as you were growing up. And now, as students of television, I think it's time to examine that relationship with the art form, as well as when we look at television this semester, we'll be looking at the shows itself and television as a lens to American society. I also want us to kind of stop and consider our relationship with the art form that is television as well. And so I want us to really look at things like artistic intent as we're looking at shows. And this type of artistic intent is going to be easiest to find in fictional programming, where there's a showrunner making these artistic choices, and we can look at the showrunner as the artist of the project. However, these types of artistic intent happen in other programming such as news and sports as well. And it can just be as simple as choices that a camera operator makes while we're watching the game, or that the technical director chooses from multiple cameras, and they take the option that best suits them. That's an artistic choice. Also, sets and fashion really play a part in our fictional programming, as well as in things like the news when they set it up. And the aesthetic that is being sought after is really part of the overall artistic process for many of these shows that we're going to be studying and looking at this semester. So I just want us to really stop just for a second here in this first week and look at TV as an art form. So there's going to be a bunch of clips that I chose here in week one that are going to help you try to analyze television as an art form, and for you to try to see where you fall. Do you think of TV as an art form, or do you think of TV as something a little different, and why? And I would like to point out that I feel as if the art form that TV is most related to, other than other moving images such as film, which we share a very symbiotic relationship with, I think graphic design is an art form that TV has a lot of commonalities with. And one of these reasons is that graphic design is usually for something. It's a for-profit medium. It's often trying to sell something or to get a message across. So TV as a for-profit medium, most of the time, there are educational components where both TV and graphic design won't have that for-profit motto. But in general, these are mediums that are going to have an intent that's within a profit-driven system. So if graphic design is an art form, I would make the argument that television is as well. And so when you're looking at these programs, I want us to consider the choices that artists are making. And I have an MFA, and I went to art school for many years. I loved every second of it. And I came out of art school with this as the art-making method: intent, execution, critique. And so when we're looking at these shows, I'd like us to consider the intent behind the showrunner's choices. I'd like us to look at the critique of how does this end up happening? How is the execution of the artist's intent being shown up for viewers that are watching it? And critique is really going to be viewers here for this medium. So how are the viewers taking it in? Who's the demographic that this show was meant for, and how are they responding to it? Did the showrunner's artistic intent, was it executed in a way that they were hoping for? Is the critique from the viewers positive or negative? And so I'd like us to just enter into this equation of television a little bit about TV as an art form. So thank you for your attention.